Alright, y'all, so today we're going to be doing another video. This episode 4. We're going to be doing this video on this body cam. Essentially, a woman tried to frame her son, so we're going to see what happened, and let's get to it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. This is Flossy Reacts. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, he shot. Yeah, he shot. Go ahead on, rope it off. Go ahead on, tape it off. Yeah, start a major crime scene sheet, and let's tape everything off.
After reports of multiple gunshots
Gotta be something in Louisiana
being fired, detectives arrived at the scene and discovered the body of 42-year-old Travis Hobbs in his white pickup truck.
They got a camera right there. Yeah. And case of 9mm.
See, that camera stuff, that's what be solving a lot of their crimes nowadays. Everybody got Ring cameras.
Detectives would be shocked to find out that the culprit was right in front of their eyes.
Man.
Hiding in
And police, they let them tell it. Them motherfuckers say they walking up the doors. Yeah, can we see your Ring cam footage? Yeah, here, just take a look. Like this, it's crazy how many cases it solves for them.
Sight. Travis's ex-girlfriend, Rashida Jackson.
This time I heard a boom, boom, boom sound. I gotta step on the tub to see. I just saw a back of a truck just speeding over.
But Rashida had carefully crafted a sinister plan. Soon, she tried to entrap the investigators in her web of lies and put the blame on her innocent son.
Okay, so explain to me what you say. You say your son says Travis wanted a gun or something like that. Who's
So
that?
is the son a grown man or is he a kid?
Once you tell one lie, you gotta tell another one. You gotta keep on.
His
And
face.
She's not a
He
very
was
good
looking
liar.
at her like, come
Crafted
on
a
now.
sinister plan. Soon, she tried to entrap the investigators in her web of lies and put the blame on her innocent son.
Okay, so explain to me what you say. You say your son says Travis wanted a gun or something like that. Who's that?
That's
Oh, that's your son. All right.
Once you tell one lie,
He looked at her like, this what you gonna tell me right now?
you gotta tell another one. You gotta keep going. And she's not a very good liar.
Around 3 a.m. on Saturday, January 27th, 2024, the New Orleans Police Department received a 911 call. The caller told them that they'd heard gunshots go off in the 3rd District of the Gentilly neighborhood.
Well, shots fired in the 3rd District. That's cool. I've got slide on it.
Back windows hit.
Immediately responding to the call, officers arrived in the neighborhood in question and found a man seated in a white pickup truck parked in the middle of the street. Officers tried to open the truck doors, but they wouldn't budge, and the man inside was unresponsive. The officers ultimately had to break the truck's window open to understand what was going on. And
My
when
fault,
they
y'all.
did,
The video,
a
you know
tragic
these
scene
videos, they
started
start
to
a little
unfold.
slow, so we filling it out. I did get a comment on the video y'all wanted me to do
Laying for a little bit.
with the TDE.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
he
looking
shot.
into it right now.
Yeah,
We're
he
working
shot.
on that.
Go
It's
ahead on, rope
coming.
it off. Go ahead on, tape it off.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, start a major
Keep on,
crime scene
rocking with
sheet,
me.
and let's tape everything off. It's gonna be
Get on
on
this
third.
YouTube journey.
It was too late to save the man. He was covered in blood and had multiple gunshot wounds on his upper body. The officers identified him as 42-year-old Travis Anthony Hobbs.
We got a male deceased inside of a white truck. 3rd District response to a call of shots fired.
Ain't
The
no playing
vehicle
with
apparently
this white
drove
truck.
up this way, stopped at that road closure.
Okay. No witnesses, nothing. Nobody.
The only witness is the man that observed the truck make the turn, stopped, and then back up. He said that he just saw the truck and then called 911.
Since the murder had taken place just moments ago, detectives started inspecting the area, looking around for any witnesses or maybe any possible suspects.
The scene's probably off of one of these streets. We just got to find that. The call came up, and so I'm gonna go look for cases over there.
Let's take it from this corner right here, because if anybody drive up, they're gonna be like right on it.
Yeah, this
Hey,
gotta be something out
y'all
of
about to come out?
Louisiana.
Y'all coming out?
However, this wasn't easy for them. Since it was 3 a.m., there was hardly anyone on the street, and the person who had called 911 had vanished also.
Yeah, the lady just left here.
Yeah, and her car was right here.
Yeah.
And I helped her get out the tape. And here comes the rain.
The stormy weather only made the search more difficult for them. But even in such chaotic conditions, detectives did find a crucial piece of evidence.
They got a camera right there. Yeah.
They said that already. But I didn't upload yesterday, so I do got a double upload coming today. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna get back to this video. And these videos, they be slow, so.
And case a 9mm right here, one. That's the only one. Here's about 4 shots. Let me show you something that's sticking out. Look at that piece of paper. This piece of paper right here? Look around here.
Oh, it's not as wet as everything else.
It's not wet at all. Everything out here is soaking wet.
Except that.
Home and dry.
Like somebody tried to pick something up.
Yeah.
Man, let's add back to it.
Travis had multiple gunshot wounds on his body. However, officers were able to find only one shell casing in the area. On top of that, this shell casing was not found near the truck, but on the sidewalk a few feet away.
Gonna use that piece
This
of
seemed a
paper
bit
as
odd
evidence,
to the
or?
officers.
Said it's bone
Additionally,
dry.
taking
Like,
a
y'all gonna
closer
put
look
it
at
in
the
the
crime
bag?
scene, detectives tried to piece together what Travis's final moments might have been like.
Walking up to the car, I can see the holes that are on the passenger side of the vehicle, which tells me that someone was standing outside shooting into that vehicle. There are no holes going from the inside of the vehicle to the outside, so it wasn't a shootout. It was somebody who was targeting him and shooting at him.
What you know about all of this?
Just know something about shots over there. He drove over here.
Yeah, I drove over there. Shell casing and a napkin that was dry over there.
Mm-hmm.
Storming all night, so it has to be somewhat current.
Okay.
The warrant signed, we just waiting for the coroner to get here.
We already got the search warrant. We may as well use it.
Right. Yeah, I know, right?
With a search warrant for the truck ready, officers
shit is
decided
crazy
to take
how
a look
police can just
inside,
give
hoping to
search
find
warrants
any
to
more
anything.
clues that could lead to the killer. However, evidence found in the car only added another layer of mystery to the case.
Okay, we got 2 copper fragments, red driver floorboard. Got
Oh,
a
wait.
cell phone, you want it?
Oh, yeah, we'll take it. Make it some Real Johnson.
You
Luck.
want
never know,
it?
right?
What's going through my head is trying to find out
Nigga said,
where did he
"We'll
come from.
take it."
He's in the middle of the street. His car is shot up. It's just a big whodunit and why.
However, this was only the beginning. Detectives could never have imagined what was coming their way next.
Based on what I saw in the car when I looked in it, the back of the vehicle is shot at least once, and the interior is shot, I don't know, 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And it looked like he took one to the right shoulder in this direction. So
Okay.
it's kind of like it's going in sideways.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Do you have a name on him?
Travis Hobbs.
It turned out that Ravel Johnson, one of the homicide detectives working the case, had had past encounters with Travis. And sadly, this one was his last.
Immediately, I was like, I heard that name before. I was a patrolman in the 5th District before I became a homicide detective. Travis Hobbs was a 42-year-old native of New Orleans, mainly from the Ninth Ward area. He kind of had a sketchy past, but I remember him being real cool. And last time I saw him, he's outside laughing and joking, because I know he comes from a really big family. Unfortunately, they're going to be getting some bad news soon.
Detective Johnson's history with Travis shed more light on the case.
I had the officers run his criminal history, and he has maybe 15 drug distribution charges. So
Okay. And it kind of makes sense, too, because, this area is not somewhere where you'll just be hanging out, so you definitely was coming here to beat somebody.
So with the 15 drug charges, the case kind of changed because they make it like, it was probably over some drugs or some work or something. So that make it a little bit different.
right. No, you don't hang here.
Nah.
Hang spot.
Yeah,
This is residential home spot.
exactly.
I'm going to get my car and wait for the corner.
They is showing this car
Yeah, I think
too
I may
much,
do
though.
the same. Yeah.
Knowing that Travis did have a sketchy past. That's not what I'm concerned about. My job is to find out who killed him. At the end of the day, he did not deserve to be killed.
Desperately looking for any solid clues, detectives circled back to the shell casing that was found on the sidewalk. The location of this shell casing stood out to the detectives. How it ended up there was a mystery the officers were yet to solve.
What's kind of weird about this scene is the place that the casing was found.
Case a 9mm.
The spent shell casing was on the sidewalk.
The casing was found a block away from where the victim ended up. That's telling me that our victim was shot here directly in front of a house. Travis Hobbs may have drove to that location where we found him. And where the casing was, there's actually a camera right above it. But the officers prior to me arriving on scene, they knocked at the door and a female said it was a dummy cam.
I think I saw one on this corner, too, on that White House. Guess we'll try again tomorrow.
With no luck finding out where the shell casing came from, detectives had very little to follow in the investigation. Given that it was almost 4 a.m., detectives were aware that they could hardly speak to anyone.
At this point, we don't have much information to go on. It's the middle of the night,
My
people
thing
are
is, how'd they get
inside.
to
It's
the
kind of
girl?
tough to knock on doors and try to get surveillance video. So it's probably best that we come back in the morning and kind of start over, do a good canvas, and see if we can collect this video.
Think we good? Get it towed back to headquarters, and we'll try again in the morning.
All right.
All right. Appreciate y'all, man.
As Travis's body was sent for an autopsy, detectives decided to head back to their headquarters and start afresh the next day. In the morning, detectives got some crucial information regarding the homicide. Travis's case was already making headlines in the news, and tips were pouring in endlessly. One of those tips looped in a new suspect into the investigation.
This morning, I got a call from a confidential source who's very familiar with Travis, and he informed me that he has a girlfriend that supposedly stays right there in the block somewhere. He gave me the name. It's Rashida Jackson. People always reach out to me. They have information. They feel comfortable.
Could cops do their job if people didn't tell them and give them leads? I really wonder that. If cops couldn't really like get camera footage of other people's property, or people wasn't giving them leads, would they be able to do their job?
With me. That's one of the advantages of being
They
from New
just
Orleans.
be acting-
This person contacted her, but she said she didn't have any information. She didn't even know he was dead, which is kind of weird to me because there was a lot of police out there and all that stuff. Nobody came outside. During the conversation, Rashida said that she doesn't know anything about what happened to Travis. Kind of raised the flag with this person, so that's what made him call me to say something's not right. So I'm kind of interested to see where she stays, see if we maybe get some video from there, see if something happened in front of the house or something like that. Stuff starting to roll. Let's find Rashida, find out where she lives.
I found her.
Oh, smoked you. Smoked you. Oh, another thing. Apparently they got into it yesterday, and she called the mom.
His mom.
Yeah, I haven't talked to the family yet, so I'm quite interested to see if they have something to add to it.
Well, that's
right there, right?
Right there, yeah.
So we may have to go over to.
All right, let's do it.
But before going to Rashida, detectives decided to head back to the crime scene to see if they'd missed.
Alright, y'all, this was the video about to speed up. They found out their first lead. I'm sure this is where the interrogation come in, so you know.
On any clues last night because of the stormy weather. This time, their hopes were high.
We're about to go back to the scene and do a little canvas. I got my partners following behind. I got Faith.
This is Pod 5, the first fully immersive
Tell you
sleep
that it's
system.
about to speed the video up. Give a
So
damn about
the
no
vehicle
future covers.
came from down here after the shooting, came right here, jumped the curb, and that's where we found it at. Right here is where we found the casing and the napkin. So if you look at the house right there, you see it has a camera on it, but they say it's supposed to be a dummy cam.
Last night, the woman who stayed in that house told the detectives that the camera was a fake one. This was a huge setback for the detectives.
It said
But
she
this
told
time,
them
while
the
looking
camera
around the
was
house,
fake.
the investigators made a shocking observation.
That's old girl's address.
Right here?
What is it?
That's old girl's address.
Shut up.
It turned out that this was Rashida's address. Detectives started to put the pieces together, and it was all making sense now.
That's why they said it's a dummy cam.
Deesberg looks up. He's like,
Damn.
that's Rashida House. It's the same place where the casing was found.
With this new development in the case, there was a possibility that the camera wasn't a dummy one and might even have captured the crucial moments leading to Travis's horrifying murder. Getting their hands on the recording was the topmost priority now, as it could provide the investigators with the missing piece of information they needed desperately to solve the case.
Should we make this like a high-risk search warrant?
Yeah, I think that may be the move.
And the casing was right here.
Get right there, bro.
Oh, yeah. We don't know what could
She
be
was
at that
shot right
house.
outside his house.
Rashida Jackson lives right next to the crime scene. We have a possible motive, and she could be armed.
Yeah,
So
possible.
we're gonna do a search warrant. We're going in that house.
Without losing sight of the house for even a second, investigators got in touch with the SOD, Special Operations Division, to execute a search warrant as soon as they could.
We're gonna go back over here into a parking lot and wait for our SOD unit to come, and we're gonna brief with them about going in that house on. We call them high-risk warrants because there's a possibility that they may not go willingly. So therefore, we call up SOD and we have them come out and we have them executed. And we don't want anybody innocent getting hurt.
All right, good afternoon, fellas. Salt down the page on SOD. We'll let the
They didn't think that if they just knocked on the door, she'd open it and talk.
lead detective, Detective Riel, give us a rundown of why we're here.
Basically, we had a murder last night. We did a canvas. We went to the house. There was a camera there. We spoke to someone. They said that the cameras be a dummy cam, and they had no information about the shooting. Later on, we find out that there's a wire that runs from that camera to the inside of the house, and his ex-girlfriend stays there. And we believe that's who the detective spoke to the first time, who gave us that information. So we believe that it has something to do with the homicide.
So let's get dressed and ready to roll out.
Hopefully, we'll be able to get the surveillance video, maybe a firearm or something like that. As of right now, it's the only lead that we have, so we're gonna roll with it.
Hopefully, he still got something in there.
Damn.
There we go.
After SOD clears the residence and makes sure everything is secure, we have to wait it out. When they give me the clear to go in, it's time to go in. It's just so everybody's safe. The house is quiet, and everybody's safe.
4144 replacement.
You gonna meet us at the front door?
All right, so all right.
As officers from SOD first searched the house, they learned that nobody was home and the area was secure. After receiving clearance, detectives finally entered the house.
Good thing nobody was home, because if they do raid your shit, I'm sure you would rather not be there.
And at this point, the only thing that mattered the most to them was finding out whether the camera was recording or not.
So there's a security camera outside of Rashida's house. I want to see if that security cam recorded the murder.
Hey, you're not gonna tell me that camera don't work, man. Come on, right? Look at that, man. Why would you run a wire like that for a fake cam?
When I walk in the house, the first thing I'm doing, I'm taking mental notes. Where are the bedrooms, where's the bathroom, living room, everything.
Them damn steps dirty as hell. It look like they've been kicking the front plate.
Because you never know how that could come up later. During the search, we learned that the camera wasn't
It's
recording.
one of them
Learning that the
35-year-old
camera hadn't
houses.
recorded anything pushed the investigators further
They
away
lived
from
there
finding
since
out what
Katrina
really happened
happened.
to Travis that night. The house search ultimately didn't turn out to be of much help. Detectives needed a new approach. That was when they decided to get in touch with Travis's family, hoping they might know something that could speed up the investigation.
So we just searched the house. I'm about to call the family. They said they might have some information for me. So I'm about to give them a call and see what they got.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing? This is Detective Johnson with New Orleans Police Department. Do you know where Travis was living?
Travis was living in the east.
He was living in the east?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll tell you, the incident occurred around Lafayette and St. Anthony. Do you know why he would be in this area?
Well, they say he had went to a party or something.
Do you know of any other ladies he might have been dating or ex-girlfriends or anything that stayed in this area?
Well, they had a girl they used to talk to stay around that way.
Who's that?
Her name is Renika Jackson.
You mean Rashida?
Yes.
As soon as Travis's family member mentioned Rashida, Detective Johnson
So it's like he could have been trying to drive to her to get help, or the party could have been in that area. It don't mean she did it, though.
eager to find out more. And what he was about to hear would only put more suspicion on Rashida.
Have you spoken to her at all?
Yeah, she was over here a little while ago.
Okay, and what did she say about it?
Well, she left from here just now. She said the police was at the house. That's why she left.
So she said she's on the way
Oh,
here?
yeah, she definitely did it. I take all that back. She
Okay,
definitely
hopefully she
did
comes
it.
over
She
here.
said the police at the
But I
house,
want to
so
meet with
she
you guys
got
in
on.
person too. So when we finish up over here, I'll give you a call.
Okay, and what is your name?
Detective Johnson.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I'll talk to you shortly. Well, that's interesting.
And there's so many red flags that are just going off. Rashida, she has to come forward and give me some information because it just doesn't make sense.
The cops were now certain that this time they would finally talk to Rashida and collect crucial details.
I just talked to the family, and Rashida is supposed to be on her way over here because she heard the police at her house. I don't know, we'll see what she has to say about it. Still kind of weird that right in front of her house, as we find the casing and all this stuff.
Thanks to Restore, prime time is back.
Any longer. If you're dating.
After the shooting near Rashida's house,
I ain't got
a
them
gun shell
problems yet,
casing
so
was
them
found,
ads ain't
making
really,
her a suspect. As a result, the cops
really
searched her
useful for
home
me,
and
let me
found
knock
something
on wood.
completely unexpected.
There's a drum mag upstairs that I found in a shoebox in the hallway. It's got like 9 rounds in it. It's loaded with 40s.
This discovery made them question if someone else in the neighborhood was involved.
Unfortunately, it doesn't match the casing that we recovered. but it also shows that somebody in this residence has a firearm. Where there's one gun, there may be 2, 3, 4, or 5.
At one point, they began to consider the possibility that Rashida was innocent, but there were still too many things that couldn't be mere coincidences, and the unanswered questions they had only Rashida could answer.
I want to find out why was there a casing found outside her residence last night, and the shooting victim was her ex-boyfriend. And with all that information, she didn't come down there, come flag us down last night. Nothing. She got some questions to answer.
Soon, Rashida arrived, and detectives started questioning her regarding the incident where she acknowledged seeing Travis's car.
That's her. Hello.
Hello.
I live here.
Okay. He's gonna talk to you.
What's your name? I'm sorry.
Rashida.
Okay, Detective Johnson.
How you?
Let me talk to you real quick. Last night, were you home?
No, I had just came home. Then when I went back upstairs, I just heard gunshots.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I come back outside, my son was saying, that just hit your car, and pointed a gun at me. I'm like, who? He was like, Travis. I said, boy, Travis not gonna come around here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I don't have any dealings with him.
Right.
But lately, I've been having a lot of run-ins to him in the club. He threatened me and everything, but
She said, I've been having a lot of run-ins with him in the club. Y'all niggas is 50 years old.
Looked all that.
Okay.
Rashida stated that Travis intentionally hit her vehicle, and when her son objected, Travis threatened him with a gun. This revelation instantly made Rashida's son a suspect in the detective's eyes. It was possible that, due to ongoing tensions, Rashida's son shot Travis during the altercation. This new revelation changed the direction of the investigation, and the truth was about to come out when Rashida was called in for further interrogation at the police station. At first, the detectives asked her about her relationship with Travis. According to her, Travis wasn't a problem until he drank and became aggressive, but she claimed to have no idea why Travis was near her house that night.
They let her keep the vape in the office.
First of all, how do you know Travis?
I'm his ex.
His ex? Okay. How long ago did y'all break up?
Yes,
It's been a while.
I raised his son. You know, he called me his baby mama or whatever. I called him my baby daddy.
And while we were talking to scene, you was explaining something to me about him and say he been messing with you, like coming to the club, places you at. Like explain that whole little deal to me.
Like I don't have a problem with him. But it's like when he drink, you know, he be hostile. I just don't like to be around that type of environment with him.
Okay.
When asked about the whole incident, she gave a detailed account.
Now, around the time the shooting occurred, explain that to me. You had got back home, and what happened when you got to the house?
I went in the bathroom, and I just heard a car just flying down the street, like, so I didn't even pay no mind to it or whatever. So I just went back on, proceed, taking my look. And this time
Taking my look.
A boom, boom, boom sound. I gotta step on the tub to see. I just saw a back of a truck just skied over.
She had to step on the tub to see. She giving details and extra little nitpicks. She lying.
Although she was inside the house when the shooting happened, she claimed to have witnessed it from her bathroom window. At this point, she didn't realize that this detail would eventually unravel her lie to the detectives. However, the detectives next focused on what had happened between her son and Travis just before the shooting.
Okay, so explain to me what you say. You say your son says Travis wanted a gun or something like that.
That's what my son said. I don't know.
What did he say? Like, explain that part.
He just said when he went downstairs to go look, I guess he went before me. And by the time I had to put my clothes and stuff on, I went downstairs, went outside. He was like,
she guessed he went before her, but she had to put some clothes on.
This is crazy.
Do you have damage to your truck?
It's just a bunch of little scratches.
Okay.
What's your son's name? Has him and Travis ever had anything going on? Any kind of little words passed?
No, because he looked at Travis like his stepdaddy.
And I guess the thing is,
I've been with him since my children was small. Like, I'm all over. Like,
I understand.
Hey, if you live in one of these cities right here, why don't you own an apartment building? Seriously, let me show you a path.
Back to the video.
Rashida claimed her son was not on bad terms with his stepfather, Travis, but detectives suspected she was hiding something far more sinister. When asked for her son's location, she seemed to make excuses to keep him out of the detective's reach.
How do we get in touch with him?
I don't know. I barely sees him.
Where does he stay?
And my son don't have no key to my house, and they can't get in my house unless I'm there.
Unless you're there. Gotcha.
I don't get along.
You have a number for... I'm sure you do. It's your son.
I don't know about what.
You have your phone?
No.
Where's your phone?
It's by my auntie house.
Where's that?
Right there in Gentilly.
Okay.
Detectives found it strange that, at one point, she made them suspicious of her son, but at the same time, she was trying not to reveal much about him.
She seems nervous. Her son's name comes up. And I started asking information about him, and she's very vague. She just gave me just enough, just to try to get me to shut up, but that's not gonna work.
Detectives saw two possibilities. Either she was trying to save herself by framing her son for the murder, or she was hiding a dark secret to protect him.
I've never experienced someone pointing a finger at their son as the suspect, but first time for everything. Welcome to homicide.
To unravel the puzzle, they paused the interrogation and looked into her son's background, and what they discovered immediately made him a suspect.
I found him. You want me to print it or
Please. He does have a criminal record. Definitely a person of interest that I want to speak with.
With all the new details, detectives resumed interrogation to uncover any possible motive behind the murder.
All right, sorry about that. All right, so we just got a few more questions before we get out of here. You said something about your son talking about y'all don't really get along. What's the issue with that? What happened?
Oh, it's not no bad issue. You know, parents' house come with rules.
All right.
I don't want all them different girls in my house. You still gonna bring all the different girls in my house.
Yeah.
So you need your own.
You stated previously you don't have any idea why he was in, like, right outside your house.
I don't even know why. Like, what's the reason for you to be around there? I don't affiliate with you. I don't deal with you. I don't conversate with you.
And you don't have any idea of his whereabouts?
No. Knowing where he lay his head at, I can't tell you that.
Okay.
She repeatedly denied knowing why Travis was outside her house that night, insisting that they rarely spoke. Detectives then showed a photo of her son, seeking further confirmation of their findings.
So, just so we can understand this, who's that?
That's him. That's my son.
That's your son. All right. So what we're doing is just identifying that as your son. If you could just sign it on the bag, just date of birth, just making sure that we have the right person as your son.
I'm still trying to...
Can you sign on the back?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you know, like you said, you weren't outside, so usually for today's day.
Like I said, once I'm in my house, I'm in my house. The only reason why I came out my house is just to go check up on my truck. And it was raining.
Okay.
Noticing her shrewd tactics when detectives showed the evidence collected from her house, she denied any involvement, but they kept pressing her.
And let me ask you another question. This one kind of important. It was a magazine for a gun that was in the house. Who was that for?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you own any guns?
Hell no.
Okay. So, and this is the thing, like, this is a homicide investigation that's very serious. So, you know, the questions that I'm asking you, we asking these for specific reasons.
Right.
So, and I want to give you an opportunity to, because I don't want you to get wrapped up in something like this.
She
You know,
with her
especially
fingers
if you
and
didn't do
shit.
anything.
She nervous.
But also, like I said, when we look at videos and it's something different from what you're telling us, that may become an issue. So I want to get ahead of that. So I want to ask you, and I need you to be honest with me about what occurred that night.
Despite their efforts, she didn't reveal much and stuck to her story. So the only option left was to speak with her son.
So we definitely need to speak with him, your son, because you mentioned somebody, Travis, flashing a gun at him or something like that. If that's what happened, then he definitely needs to tell us that. Because if something happened, he was defending himself, he needs to tell us that too. I'm going to give you my phone number.
I'm just about to tell you, give me your card, and once I get to my phone, I'm going to go pull it up.
I understand.
Before reaching out to her son, the detectives verified her statements during the interrogation and uncovered multiple lies.
So I looked at her truck. What did she say He was supposed to hit it with another car?
Yeah.
No.
She said there's a bunch of scratches on the back of it or something like that?
No.
Okay.
Like if that was hit with another car? No. It looks like she scraped a branch or something.
Despite Rashida's claim, the detectives found no evidence that her truck had been hit by Travis's car, clearly exposing her lie. But that wasn't the only lie she told. More were starting to surface.
Rashida said that she was in the bathroom, she heard the shots, she looked out the bathroom window, and she saw a white vehicle fleeing the scene, which was kind of weird to me because the bathroom window wasn't facing that street. So something not lining up.
After uncovering her lies, detectives knew they were getting closer to...
She said she looked out the bathroom window. That's on the side of the house.
...truth, and revealing her real intentions was only a matter of time.
Once you tell one lie, you gotta tell another one. You gotta keep going. And she's not a very good liar. After getting out of here, I got a lot more investigating to do.
On the morning of January 28th, 2024, detectives attempted to speak with Rashida's son to gather more information, but unfortunately, they were unsuccessful.
We tried to reach out to Rashida's son. We have no luck. He doesn't want to talk to the police. Her son isn't a suspect at this time. More so a possible witness. Maybe he has more information, but we can't force him to come in and talk to us.
After Rashida's son refused to cooperate, detectives were left with limited information that made the investigation harder to continue. So they decided to take their next step accordingly.
After interviewing Rashida, I didn't really get much information. I knew she wasn't telling the truth, but I really don't have much more to go on right now. What we're going to do is go talk to a confidential source. Hopefully some more information to come forward, but I don't know.
Though they didn't expect much from the confidential source, they had no idea an unexpected breakthrough was coming.
Just met with the source, and they just told me that Rashida actually shot Travis. So the source had spoken to Rashida that night and informed them that she shot Travis because he was ramming a vehicle. The source informed me about how the family's all distraught that he got killed. The source also told me that Travis had 2 kids that, adored him. And now they're going to be without their dad. Like, the whole family is messed up. Just learning what happened to him.
Rashida shot Travis for ramming
that's why I'm here
car.
to at least give them some type of justice and find a person that's responsible.
The source revealed that Rashida was the one who shot Travis, and it was over something as trivial as a car bump.
You missed all the fun.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. I went and saw a confidential source.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm talking to her, she turns to me and was like, "Detective, I gotta tell you something." The night of the shooting, at 1:30, she got a call from Ms. Jackson where she said, "Travis is outside beating on my car, and I shot him."
However, the statement from the confidential source was not enough to arrest Rashida, and cops needed additional evidence. They then conducted a thorough re-examination of Travis's truck.
I don't see nothing.
There was no damage on the vehicle.
So this whole time they were showing this blue truck, and it's really this white one?
Same thing on this side.
Or is this Travis's truck?
But look where the hole at.
Oh, this Travis truck. This Travis truck.
I don't see nothing.
My son was saying that I printed a gun named me.
Nope. I don't see no damn gun. No. Shoot full of trumps that whole thing about him having a gun and flashing a gun at him.
Right.
That's another strike against her.
Yeah. She got some explaining to do.
Yeah.
They found no sign of a gun in his truck, which exposed another of Rashida's lies. To uncover more, they took their next step, which would soon reveal something crucial they'd previously missed.
So I want to see if I can put Rashida on the scene at the time of that murder. I want to go back and look at the body cams from the officers that were on scene. That night, at 1:30 in the morning, Travis Hobbs is killed, and officers are trying to shut down the scene.
It's still like right there.
This is Abram still setting up the tape.
Let's do it at this corner right here, because if anybody drive up, they're gonna be like right on it. See what I'm saying?
Her truck's there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Up on the sidewalk by the garage.
Where the casing was found.
Right.
Oh, wow.
While re-examining the crime scene footage from the body cam, they spotted Rashida.
At 2:02 a.m., Rashida's truck is parked outside her house. and she steps outside while officers are trying to shut down and secure the crime scene.
Hey, y'all about to come out? Y'all coming out?
And later on, when he's about to find the casing, she's not there.
And the truck isn't there at that point. At 2:17 a.m., officers stop Rashida as she appears to flee the crime scene.
There's her truck leaving.
Yeah, I was walking up here to get you out of there. Oh. But this your house right here?
I gotta come back to you.
All right, I'm gonna be listening for you. All right.
Boom. Gotcha.
After carefully scrutinizing body cam footage, the detectives came to a chilling conclusion.
The body cam shows that Rashida drove off and left the scene last night. Her vehicle was there to put her on the scene at the time of that murder. Hell with that.
After all this, she'd already been proven to be a criminal-minded, evil person, but the way she tried to frame her son to escape the murder charge was truly shocking.
Rashida's son is not the
knowing
perpetrator.
I'm done.
The fact that during the interview, Rashida brought up her son's name and kind of hinted on to him being the shooter. I don't know, that says a lot about her as a mom. She threw her son that she don't like out. Threw that name out there. Mother of the Year.
Talking to Travis's mother, detectives uncovered even more disturbing truths about Rashida's intentions.
Talking to Travis's mom, she believed that Travis was probably called around to Rashida's house. What was his reason for coming there to see her? Was he called over there? Was he set up? Or was he coming over there just to see her and something went bad?
With this evidence, they obtained an arrest warrant for Rashida on charges of second-degree murder, but they couldn't arrest her as she was on the run. Even 45 days after the arrest warrant was issued, Rashida remained at large. However, on March 21st, 2024, she finally surrendered to the authorities. After her arrest, the detectives tried to question her again, but she refused to provide any additional information.
Of course, we do want to talk to you again. Let me just go through my spiel, and if you don't want to, then that's fine.
No, because I done went through this already. And I told you what I knew already.
Okay.
You already asked me questions. There's nothing else I could tell you.
Okay.
I'd rather have my attorney present.
Okay, that's fine. That's all I understand. All right, we'll get you back over there. No problem.
However, the authorities were confident that they had enough evidence to prove her guilt in court, ensuring justice for Travis's family and loved ones.
Well, this video, I guess they didn't really solve nothing. She ended up going to jail on a warrant. So, thank y'all for watching Flossy Reacts. We're going to get another one out to y'all. Like I said, we're going to do a double upload today. So go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to leave some more videos y'all like me to react to in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and get on. And I'll see y'all on the next one. It's Flossy Reacts. We out.